And so now we're coming to the end. And so I'm going to invite Kat to come up and join us on the stage as well. She's coming from her couch. And Jamie, I was wondering if you could kick us off talking a little bit about what you saw today.
Yeah, happy to do so. Make sure my mic's actually on. Notes again, sorry. So I think we started off with a lot of really great, highlights and coverage of, looking back at the APT playbooks from Latin America, starting with that adversaries are real people, defenders are real people. There's a huge human factor in, anything we're doing in this space. So, more than anything, and, these problems aren't going to be binary. They're not going to be something that we can just, whether it's attack or in another framework or any technical solution, we're not just going to, as Kat said so gracefully, we're not just going to be done. It's going to be something that over time, and I love the later talks about more diving into detection and analytics, from Snap Attack and in Red Canary. It's going to be something that we're going to need to measure. We're going to need to validate. We're going to need to, know the status of it. It's not something that as much as I would love, just to say, we've solved the problem, we've, won the war. It's going to be something that really is going to be a day-to-day problem. So connecting those two ideas, we really need to not only, respect and kind of take heed of the long-term horizon and the goals and really be able to kind of set realistic expectations, but take care of the people. Because the people that are solving your problems, they're waking up day in, day out. A lot of really, thinking about Haley's talk, a lot of risk, a lot of things we're going to need to measure. So making sure, we are absolutely a community and that, we're not, we're factoring in the technology, the process, but also the people. And final thought, and this is one of my biggest, anytime I brief attack to a new community, getting back to yesterday's big theme of stories, one of my favorite things about attack is the ability to tell almost any story. Think about, some of the domains we have, whether it's enterprise, Mac OS, Linux, ICS, mobile, looking at social engineering, looking at, clouds and containers, whatever it may be, name your favorite. I think, I forgot who said it, but actually Otis, attack for blank. Please, respect our trademark and our patents and such. Please do not actually call it attack for blank. That said, the paradigm of understanding your adversary, understanding their behaviors, and really codifying that into the tactics, why, what goal are they trying to achieve? The techniques, how are they going to do that? Procedures, what are they actually going to do? That is pretty universal. So as we, I love the big chunk of, thought this afternoon about threat modeling. From Tim and others, it's, we really need to understand our threats, how that applies to us, and what are we going to do about it. So, thank you to all our presenters. I myself was sitting over there all day, going to go back and watch all of these talks at least twice. Thank you so much.
So before we get into the winners of our meme contest, I do have a few more winners from a raffle that Attack IQ was running downstairs. So please, go visit them downstairs, pick up your prizes. If I'm calling your name from here. So their grand prize winner is Jordan Anderson. And then the rest of the prize winners to head downstairs, starting with Attack co-creator Eric Sheasley, John Tran, Gerald Bishelf, Jesse Dickerson, Jimmy Ruiz, and Khalifa Hill. So yeah, please go get your prizes downstairs, and thank you Attack IQ for being a sponsor and giving those away. I'm going to change place to you.
Meme contest. All right. Dedicated, wonderful followers of Twitter and Slack. So we're going to get this on the board soon, but there's some notable mentions. We do have a winner. But the notable mentions for our slide. There's a clicker that I was told to use, so we're clear. So this is Cat. This is a Cat thing, so we're clear. This is Cat. So the winner is Roxanne Davis. So thank you so much. We will be sending you a flag in the mail. So I will be connecting with you afterwards. This was just a meme that we just loved when we were going back and forth because, quite frankly, there were some incredible memes on the Slack feed or the Twitter feed. But this is for sure the winner of it. So some notable mentions. We just want to say thank you so much to all of our speakers and participants that have been following all of the talks, because there have been some awesome ones. One of my favorite ones was the cookies one. There was this one, Miter Attack is Sexy. Explain to me why. But there are some really great ones that really followed along with some of the talks. So I really appreciate to everyone that really did these call outs because that's actually what makes it fun. Like that's what kind of keeps it ongoing, right? Like when you're trying to blend like the digital world and the in-present world, or in-person world, it's really nice that there's something that binds us all together. And a lot of times that just comes down to some good old-fashioned humor. So thank you guys so much for all of your participation, and congratulations, Roxanne.
So finally, would like to say some thank yous for a lot of the people involved with this conference. It's been incredible pulling you all together the last few days. So thank you to the 125 of you who, not all here still in person, but quite a few of you are, and the over 7,000 who registered online, which is just kind of an insane number. So thank you for being here. So we couldn't pull this conference off financially without the help of our sponsors. It's thank you for being here. Thank you for being downstairs in the hallway when we didn't really have some of the traffic we intended to, thanks to the cold. We really had intended to have all of our meal breaks outside. So thank you to Attack IQ, Cyber Ranges, Kroll, Picus, Trend Micro, and Trellix as full conference sponsors. And Analyst One, Cyborg Security, Microsoft, and Pentera as our virtual sponsors. But thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Jamie and Kat for agreeing to be on camera, on stage for the past 2 days. You've both done an incredible job. We've seen tons of feedback on Twitter talking about Kat's couch taking Jamie's role from the last ATT&CKcon, and then Jamie keeping all the speakers actually to the end of their time with Q&A, even if the audience did or didn't want to join in. Thank you to Selena Larson and all the speakers who submitted to our CFP this year, all, I think, 72 of you, and to my leads for giving their attack updates the last 2 days. From my team, we've also had John Wonder, Justin Roberts, and Mike Hartley planted in the front row this entire conference, sending out probably close to 200 tweets by now. I've done this in the past, live tweeting. It is a lot of work, and it is actually kind of stressful sending out a tweet from a 70,000 follower Twitter account. The first time you actually click send, there's a little bit of adrenaline rush. Behind the scenes, we've had moderating our Slack a couple other team members who you haven't seen in the room today. They're actually helping us virtually, just Casey Nur and Olivia Stallings, keeping up with the ever-changing Q&A channels. Also, thank you to the ATT&CKcon 3 program committee. It was Amy Robertson, John Wonder, Justin Roberts, Jamie Williams, Mike Hartley, and myself. So round of applause to the team.
So much work.
In the back and virtually for the last couple of days, we've had Capital AV and Brand Live helping us keep the video streaming, and MITRE team helping the audio all keep going into the room. MITRE does all the graphics for this conference in-house. I've actually had a lot of people surprised by that, but things like this logo, the socks that everyone should make sure that they grab if they're here, and we may have something for the virtual audience on that. Stay tuned. But thank you to our designer, Pascal Bernard. Finally, there's also a team who you never see on stage who works with us for months and are nearly how all of the event logistics happen. Starting with Nancy Steelberg.
Woo, Nancy!
So, Nancy's been a tax partner on ATT&CKcon from strategic communications from the very beginning of the conference, and I think was part of talking us into doing the conference in the first place, where we're a little unsure. We're sort of introverts. This is not really our thing, but I think that it's come together. It's been great to do these past couple of years, and so thank you so much to Nancy for everything over the years. I'd also like to thank Karen Avincula, Anita McGinnis, and Nicole Armstrong from MITRE's strategic events team. They've been pulling together logistics for months. And Courtney Clark from my own team, who stepped up after some staff losses to take on a bunch of roles she had no intent of doing when she started at MITRE weeks into her employment. So it's been incredible for all of you making us help look good and do this event. So with that,
I can think of no better way to end this conference than to give a round of applause for Adam himself for not only, facilitating conference, not only for the conference itself, but really enabling us and inspiring us to keep attack going and really keeping us grounded in the principles that really make attack, the framework and the community that it is. So, thank you.
Thank you. So without further ado, for those of you in the room, there's candy and popcorn and containers to take home with you. With that, hopefully we won't take another 2.5 years before we see you again.